Contact centers have changed fundamentally over the last 15 years. Back then, customers had to queue up to go to a branch or to call a contact center, but now customers have plenty of choice. They can do email, they can chat, they can phone. If they're not happy, they can use social media. So at this very moment, an organization needs to make sure that it's organizing itself around the customer. The customer is in the center, and therefore customer centricity is the major point of attention. So the big question in contact centers is, shall we serve the customer inside or outside, which is called outsourcing. Since it's all about serving customers, it's very important to do that inside your organization. If you are lacking capacity, you can always go outside and ask an outsourced agent to deal with that extra capacity that you need. The role in Plantronics, other than providing the best products in the world, is to provide thought leadership. What we are doing is experimenting and innovating all the time with the spaces in which people are working, with the technology that they are using, but also in the way people are managed. Contact centers need to be getting much more modern in the way human dynamics and management skills are being used. Cloud computing is getting very important for contact centers because you can buy software at much more affordable rates versus the big capital investments of the past. But cloud computing can only work when you have excellent networks. You cannot have it that cloud computing software is very slow and slows down the responsiveness of your agents or your associates with the customers. That would not be a good thing. So cloud computing must go with excellence in networks. People are the rocket fuel of contact centers. After all, in contact center, it's customers talking to associates of a company. That's a dialogue. And often these dialogues are about tough things, problems. People need help, complexities that you cannot solve over the internet. So these people need to be looked after. They need to be well trained, happy, motivated, working in the correct environment so that they can shine in adding value to the customer. Noise is often a very big problem in contact centers because you often have many people packed together and therefore they tend to talk louder than the person sitting next to them. That gives an escalation of sound, and therefore you need to provision for good contact center space acoustics through absorption material in the walls, the ceilings, the carpets and so forth. That's one thing you got to do. The next thing you have to do is to provide people with noise cancellation headsets so that the sound from the colleague sitting next to you is not being passed on to the customer that you talk to at the same time. Contact center world is going to change in three ways. First of all, we'll go from centralized contact centers to distributed contact centers, which are closer to the customers, and also some of the employees will go and work from home. Number one. Number two, the technology will be different. People will be using unified communications to make sure that they can reach colleagues in the company fast to help resolve problems with the customer. Number three, there will be a very different style of management in contact centers, where the most important thing is to help customers rather than counting number of minutes of a dialogue with a customer. It's all about results. Are the customers happy? The customers are happy, company is happy, employee is happy. The Russian contact center marketplace is evolving very fast. We are seeing that there is more tendencies to distribute the contact centers from largely a centralization around Moscow. The second thing that we're seeing is that new technologies are very interestingly studied and being applied, like unified communications. And last but not least, there's a thorough understanding that the dynamics of the work environment for the employees need to be changed. So all in all, a very open mindset with the Russian contact center marketplace. In many countries, contact centers start off in the center, and then they are naturally evolving to the regions to be closer to the customers. As long as the decentralization is there to benefit the customers and not just because of cost reasons, these are very natural evolutions. The importance of contact centers in Russia is rising. At this moment, there's 100,000 people working in 2,000 contact centers. What we are seeing is that a lot of companies have their contact centers inside their organization rather than outsourcing, which is done more in other countries. But I think it's a good thing that in Russia, companies are deciding to have the contact center inside their own organization.